everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Myself Alfia Qureshi. So in the last video we took an introduction about the head neck anatomy. So in this video we'll be discussing about the face, facial muscles, its nerve supply, action and everything about the face. Okay, so let's start. First of all, let us talk about some characteristic of face. Okay, so first point is it has a good blood supply. It is highly vascular. Which make it blush and the injuries heal quickly. Okay. The next thing is that it has more number of sebaceous and sweat glands also. Sebaceous and sweat glands, which keeps it oily and which is also a cause for acne. Okay. And the third thing is the skin is loose. It is laxity and facial skin is elastic. Okay, so these are the important points about the face. And the muscles are subcutaneous. Okay, it is attached. Its insertion is on the skin. And the main function of the muscles is to open and close three openings. First is the eye, second is mouth, third is nostril. So the main function of facial muscle is to regulate these three openings. Okay, now let's start with the muscles. So the muscles are divided into 4 or 5 groups for study purpose. So first is muscle of scalp. So here we have occipitofrontalis muscle. Then we have the muscle around ear. So we have 3 muscles here: auricularis anterior, auricularis superior and auricularis posterior. But these muscles are not used in our human body. These muscles are for the movement of pinna, which is not in human body. The pinna is not movable. It is you can see the movements in animals like cow, dog. Okay, but it is not used in humans. Now the third division is muscles around nose. Okay, muscles around nose. So here we have 4 muscles. First is procerus, second is compressor naris, that is the muscle which compress the nose. Third one is dilator naris, then depressor naris. So The name itself tells about the action of muscle. It dilates the nostril, it depresses the nose, and it compresses the nose. Okay. Now the fourth division is muscles around the mouth. Okay. So here we have around 11 muscles. Okay. First one is orbicularis. Sorry, before the muscles around mouth, we also have muscles around eyes. So here we have orbicularis, oculi muscle, and levator, palpebris superior, and corrugator supercilii muscle. Okay, so these three muscles around eyes. Now let's move to the muscles around mouth. So around eyes we have orbicularis oculi. Here we have orbicularis oris. Okay, then we have buccinator, then the buccinator is like in the center. Then we have 5 muscles above the buccinator and 3 or 4 muscles below the buccinator. Okay, so in total we have, like excepting the orbicularis oris, we have total 10 muscles, and buccinator is the center. So this one is the levator labii superioris, Alacnaceae. Then next to this is levator labii superioris. Okay, then there is levator anguli oris. Then we have zygomaticus minor, then zygomaticus major. Okay, so these are the muscles which are above the buccinator. Then below buccinator we have, first of all we have risorius, then depressor anguli oris, then depressor labii, then in the last we have mentalis muscle. Okay, so these are the 11 muscles which are around the mouth, and in the last we have muscle of neck. In this there is only one muscle which is platysma, one large superficial muscle of neck. So here we have named all the muscles of face. Now let's see the diagram and origin, insertion and action of these muscles. So in this diagram, first of all let's see the muscle of scalp. So in the muscle of scalp we have the occipitofrontalis. Occipitofrontalis, it has two bellies. First is occipital, then frontalis, and in between there is an aponeurosis. So this one is the occipitofrontalis muscle. Then we have muscles around the ear. So we have these 3 muscles around ear: auricularis anterior, auricularis superior and auricularis posterior. Then we have muscle around the eyes. So this round muscle which is covering all over the eyes is orbicularis oculi muscle. It has three parts. This one is the orbital part, and this over the eyelid is the palpebral part, and on the lateral side we have the lacrimal part. Okay, so this muscle has three parts and its action is to close and open the eyes, is to constrict the opening of eyes. Okay, and the action of this muscle is when it contracts there is horizontal lines on the forehead. Okay, now let's move to the muscle around nose. So muscle around nose, we have four muscles. So for nose, here we have a diagram. So here this is the nasal bones, then we have the lateral nasal cartilages, then below that we have alar cartilage, then in between we have the septal cartilage. Okay, then these are the nostrils. So first muscle is procerus. So the origin of this procerus is from the upper part of lateral cartilages. So starting from here it runs upward and the insertion is between two eyebrows. Okay, so origin from the upper part of lateral cartilage and insertion on the skin between two eyebrows. Okay, so what will be the action? So it will contract in this direction, so it will result in the formation of transverse folds on this region. Okay, so transverse fold on this region. Let's name also. First is procerus, origin on the upper part of lateral nasal cartilage and insertion on the skin of forehead between two eyebrows. Okay, and action is transverse wrinkle on the forehead. Okay, so we have completed one muscle. Now the next muscle is compressor nares. Compressor nares. So let's see this muscle. So its origin is on the, so we know that this one is the maxilla bone. Okay, this whole bone is the maxilla. So its origin is on the maxilla lateral to the nose. Okay, maxilla lateral to the nose, and then it insert on the aponeurosis present on this bridge or dorsum of the nose. Okay, so it is attached all over here. So this one is the corrugator supercilii muscle. Let's note down. So origin is on maxilla lateral to nose, and insertion is on the aponeurosis on dorsum of nose. Okay, and action is it compress the nose. Okay, the nasal opening is constricted. Okay, it will constrict the nasal openings. Now the third muscle is dilator nares. Dilator nares. So what about this muscle? So the origin is on maxilla over lateral incisor. So we know that there are two incisor muscles. This one is lateral, this is medial. So maxilla over lateral incisor. Okay. And insertion on the alar cartilage. So it is like this on both sides. Maxilla over the lateral incisor and insertion on the these alar cartilages which we have drawn here. Okay. So its action is it dilates the nostril. Origin is on the maxilla over lateral incisor teeth and insertion is on the alar cartilage. And action is dilate the nostril. Now the fourth muscle is depressor nares. Depressor nares. Depressor nares originates from the medial incisor. Okay, this is from the lateral incisor over the maxilla, and from the medial incisor over the maxilla this originates depressor nares, and it inserts onto the soft movable part of septum. Okay, the lowermost part of the septum. So this is the depressor. Okay, when it contracts, it will move the septum downward and depress the nose. So origin is on the maxilla above the medial incisor and insertion is on the septum lower part, and action is depress the nose or septum. So these are the four muscles around nose. Now let's move to the muscles around mouth. So first of all, let's see the orbicularis oris muscle. So this muscle all around the mouth here is the orbicularis oris muscle. Okay, its main function is to constrict the mouth in like a whistling action. In this diagram you can also see it clearly. This one is the orbicularis oris muscle. So yeah, this is orbicularis oris. Next we have buccinator muscle. So we'll make a separate diagram for buccinator. So it has three fibers: upper fibers, middle fiber and lower fiber. So the origin of upper fiber is from maxilla opposite to the molar teeth. Lower fiber has on mandible. This is also opposite to the molar teeth of lower part, and the middle fibers are originating from the pterygomandibular raphe on the mandible. Okay, so this is about the origin and insertion. So the upper fibers insert to the upper lip, lower fiber insert to the lower lip, and the middle fibers insert it cross away like this. Okay, we'll see in the diagram. So this is a diagram. This is mandible. So let's see. These are the upper fibers which are originating from the maxilla and inserting onto the lip. These are the lower fiber originating from the mandible against the molar teeth and inserting onto the lower lip straight away. Now let's talk about the middle fiber. So this middle fiber, the upper part of this middle fiber goes and insert onto the lower lip, and the lower part of middle fibers goes up and insert to the upper lip. So it crosses away like this. Okay, this is about the buccinator muscle. So what is its action? It flattens these crossing fibers, compress the cheeks against the teeth like this. Okay, it compress like this, so it flattens the cheek against teeth and it prevent accumulation of food inside the mouth. Okay, it is also known as whistling muscle. Okay, because in whistling, when we protrude our lips in this round position, our cheeks compress or depress. So this is about the buccinator muscle.